When you've been with someone for months or even years, you naturally form a deep emotional attachment. So, when a breakup happens, the feelings you have for each other don't just vanish overnight. That's why so many couples break up only to get back together later. Because sometimes the relationship isn't actually over, it just needs a second chance or a bit of a reset. I know this firsthand. My now husband, Gabriel, who I run this channel with, actually broke up with me 3 times in the first 2 years of our relationship. But we found our way back to each other, and today, 13 years later, we help other couples who are going through the same struggles we once did. Honestly, I can't even count how many people have reached out to me through emails, comments, or coaching calls saying the same thing. I just don't feel like it's over. And if that's you right now, wondering if there's still hope, you're not alone. The truth is, even after a breakup, emotions don't just shut off. But how can you know for sure that your ex isn't over you? That there's still a real chance to fix things? That's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. Let's start with the first big sign. Is this your first or second breakup? Here's the thing. If this is only your first or second breakup, it's actually a sign that things aren't that bad yet. Yes, it means something in your relationship isn't working, but at this stage is more of a warning sign rather than a full-blown crisis. Many couples break up once or twice before they figure things out. It's usually because of miscommunication, external stress, or attachment issues, not because the relationship is beyond saving. The real danger comes when breakups start happening over and over again, because that means the same problems keep on repeating without getting resolved. But even if you and your ex broke up more than 2 times, don't panic. Gabriel and I broke up 3 times and still managed to mend things and got back together. Many of our coaching clients went through even more breakup makeup cycles. This brings us to the next big sign your ex isn't over you. Sign number 2, the reasons for breaking up were very vague. What did your ex say to you as their justification for ending the relationship? Was it, I've fallen out of love? I've lost feelings. I don't see a future with you. I can't give you what you need. Or I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. Maybe they didn't use actually these words, but they said something similar. If this was your ex's justification for wanting to end the relationship, no, it's a sign that they are not over you. Why is that? Because these aren't the real reasons. These are excuses. Your ex doesn't want to reveal the real reason for wanting to break up because they worry that if they were to be completely honest, it'd be a deal breaker and you'd move on. For example, if they said, I don't want to have to take care of you at the moment. I just want to selfishly do what I want for a while. You wouldn't take it so well. Them admitting to something like this would make them look bad and could ruin your relationship for good. Your ex doesn't want this because he or she still has feelings for you. So they give you a vague excuse and keep their real reasons to themselves. If your ex justified their decision to end your relationship in such a vague way, know that Gabriel did it too. He said to me, we want different things in life. I can't give you what you're looking for. But what he really meant was, I'm afraid of missing out. So I need a chance to look around and check if there isn't someone better for me out there. This kind of opportunistic attitude is typical for exes with avoidant attachment. They tend to think that you're so crazy in love with them, you'll stick around no matter what. They are also not in touch with or in denial of their feelings for you. In other words, they don't worry about losing you because they're taking you for granted. This is the third big indicator that things are far from over between the two of you. Sign number 3, your ex is cool and casual about your relationship ending. This can be one of the most heartbreaking breakups to experience. When your ex tells you it's over, but acts as though it's not a big deal. No anger, no sadness, no deep emotions, just a casual, yeah, I think it's for the best. When you're on the receiving end of this, it can be confusing and it can even make you question the entire relationship. How can they just walk away like that? How can they act like losing you doesn't affect them at all? But here's what's really happening. If your ex is acting totally indifferent, chances are the breakup hasn't fully hit them yet. They're saying the words, but they don't understand their meaning. Right now, they're emotionally detached, not because they don't care, but because they aren't in touch with their feelings or are in denial of them. Deep down, they aren't over you at all. They're avoiding their emotions, pushing them down, and just going through the motions without critically evaluating their own train of thought or their own feelings. Sadly, your ex will remain in their bubble until you pop it. You need to come to terms with the breakup and detach emotionally too. Only then will they actually feel like they lost you. Gabriel was friendly but distant when he was breaking up with me. But this is not the case for everybody. In fact, the opposite of this is also an indicator that there's still hope for your relationship. Let's now talk about sign number 4. Your ex was heartbroken or visibly upset by the breakup. Maybe they were crying about it and holding on to you. It was an emotionally charged moment. Perhaps it even felt like he or she didn't want to break up, but believed that they have to do it. If this was your impression, know that you weren't just imagining it. You can trust your gut on this one. I talk to a lot of people dealing with all sorts of situations. If your ex falls into this category, it's possible that they have been pushed into breaking up with you by somebody else. It could be their coach or therapist telling them they need to be single. It could also be due to external pressure from friends or family. So many couples break up after family trips or Christmas holidays. Parents can be overprotective. Mental health professionals can sometimes cross a line without realizing it. If your ex was almost more upset about the breakup than you were, chances are someone else made this decision for them. This wasn't what they really wanted because they have strong feelings for you, which will hopefully bring you two back together. Now, speaking of emotions, there is one more major sign that your ex isn't over you. It has everything to do with how they react to you. Sign number 5. They get emotional when they talk to you. Have you noticed that every time you interact with your ex, whether it's a simple text or face-to-face conversation, they get defensive or emotional? Maybe they seem to pick fights, or they say things that seem intentionally hurtful, or they delete messages or posts just to get under your skin. If this sounds familiar, it's a sign that there's still unresolved tension between the two of you. When someone is emotionally detached from a relationship, they don't react this way. They wouldn't try to provoke you or stir up conflict. They would be distant, polite, and keep things short and to the point, just dealing with what's necessary. But if your ex is still engaging with you in an emotional or even combative way, it's a clear sign that their feelings are far from gone. In fact, they might still be holding on to hurt or anger, and by lashing out, they're trying to express it. This could be their way of asking you to understand their perspective, or it could be them trying to get a reaction from you, anything to validate their emotions. This isn't about controlling you, it's about expressing a deeper unresolved hurt. If your ex were truly over you, they wouldn't waste energy on this kind of emotional back and forth. They'd be focused on moving forward, not trying to keep the conversation alive in such a charged way. Their emotional reaction is another strong sign that your ex is far from over you and that there's still a lot of unfinished business between the two of you. What's more, every time they get angry or lash out, they're giving you a chance to fix this. They're telling you what they need from you. You just need to be willing to listen and accept their demands. I'll tell you how to do this later. For now, let's go over the signs one by one so that you can know for sure if you should still hold on to hope or just give up and move on. Here are 5 key indicators that suggest your relationship isn't really finished yet. 1. It's only your first or second breakup. If you've only broken up once or twice, it's more of a warning sign than a true ending. 2. Your ex's reasons for breaking up were very vague. If they said, I've fallen out of love, I've lost feelings, I don't see a future with you, I can't give you what you need, I love you but I'm not in love with you anymore, or something similar, it means they used an excuse because they didn't want to hurt your feelings. They don't actually want to lose you because they are not over you. The same is true when, number 3, They're cool and casual about your relationship ending. If your ex seems totally indifferent, acting like the breakup is not a big deal, then they haven't actually processed it. To them, it's much more like a break rather than an actual breakup, which means you can still find your way back to each other. And the same is true for the opposite of this sign. Number 4, your ex was heartbroken and visibly upset by the breakup. This one indicates that your ex didn't really want to break up. They were most likely doing it because of external pressures or fear. Their feelings for you are still fresh. They just need you to help them find their way back to you. And the last sign, they get emotional when they talk to you. Whether it's anger, defensiveness, or even picking fights, strong emotions mean there's still a deep connection. If your ex was completely over you, they'd be distant and neutral, not engaging in emotional outbursts or trying to get a reaction from you. When emotions run high, it's a sign that something between you two still matters to them. If one or more of these signs fit your situation, it means there's still hope for your relationship. Your breakup most likely isn't final just yet, but there are some adjustments needed to make things work again. What should you do then? Most experts on the internet will tell you to go no contact with your ex for 30 days or more. I actually disagree with this. Unfortunately, there is no simple answer to what to do to get your ex to want you back. It really depends on the circumstances. If your ex is more of the defensive type, they most likely need you to listen to them. But if they are more of the playing it cool, taking you for granted type, then they need a wake-up call, something that would make them question their narrative. If you're looking for a comprehensive step-by-step guide, we developed a program to help both men and women get an ex back based on our own methods. We differentiate between 4 different X types and tell you what to do depending on which of these categories your relationship falls into. If you want to know more, I'll link it in the description. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, and if you're on the lookout for more breakup advice, subscribe to our channel so that you can also hear what it's like from the dumper's perspective. Thank you for watching and see you soon.